What's up, sexies? Happy Tuesday. Man, doing it again. So, in conclusion to this self-affliction journey, I really haven't pinpointed a subject today. The conversations over the last couple of days have maybe want to bring this into a rant in a sense. We'll talk about that head game strong with the help of a few of my friends who have brought me to this point today. You know, it's head game strong to find your truth as it would be or as it is, not their opinion of you, be it your status or your figure, your wealth, your job, your education, anything that they want to label you as inferior. But to keep that head game strong is to know yourself at the deepest levels. You know, no questions, no closure. You know, some things are better left alone. But to you must know how deep they run. You search for a love, a life of luster that you can't seem to find or achieve. I hate to say the truth being is you don't know yourself on the deepest level. Maybe you still go out here and you put out bad keys. Or maybe some of the ways you handled situations in the past, you know, brought about your inevitable future as it is. And you can't get past that cognitive thought of how you used to do people or what you need to do to succeed anymore. You know, and never be sorry for you. You know, as much as we go through here and everyone talks about this, that, and the other, some people disclose that they may talk too much or say something that has no bearing, or they continue to ramble on, and then they would proceed to apologize for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, stop. Stop apologizing for being you. Stop apologizing for the things that you talk about that mean the world to you. We negatively put ourselves out here by doing this, by degrading our own thoughts of ourselves. So, you know, we feel that we owe someone an apology for how we truly feel. It's not how it should go. It's not how it should work. And I hate that, you know, we do this to ourselves. But inevitably, one of our biggest demises, as this self-affliction shall carry on. But, you know, one of my good buddies sent me a meme the other day that made me laugh a little bit, but it's the truth, you know, because chemistry between humans is so misunderstood. You know, chemistry is a true mixture. And in this case in point, we would be adding different elements to something. Such as, in this instance, we're adding different elements to the mind. When we add different elements to something, it causes a chain reaction. Now, in a happy mind, when you add the good, you have a chain reaction of endorphins and synapses that fire to create that happiness that we lack. But in a self-destructive way, we also create that doom inside our head, if you would, where our chemistry is offline. You know, some people go out here and they see others and like, oh, it was sparks. Everything flew perfect. You know, that was it. I hate to be the one to say it, but those sparks that you got from the looks that you two gave each other, it's lust. It's not chemistry. Chemistry is a combined mixture of adding elements to the mind to set the body aflame. You can't truly have that chemistry without the depth that it takes to swim your own waters. And like I said, there's so many different elements. If we classify it chemistry-wise, you know, there's so many things I can't even begin to get into with that. Yeah, the noble gases, there's alkaline metals, there's alkaline earth metals, halogens, there's even unknowns. Metal alloys, post-transition alloys, transition metals. There's just so many elements out here that we don't know or don't understand that go into a huge process especially involving your chemical self. And, you know, I guess an easiest way to put an example of this one, let's call it ice cream. I know one friend will get a good laugh out of that, but being at the truth, ice cream, you know, it looks amazing. It's great. It seems to feed all the senses that we want at the same time, but that doesn't never classify it as actually good for us. There's so many different flavors to this life, so many different varieties, cultures, and mixtures that we can throw into this that look good, maybe taste good, but in all honesty and reality, they're no good for us. And that comes back to that self-affliction, that self-catastrophic environment that we continue to create and relapse on. But being entirely honest with oneself is great exercise. You know, especially when you're trying to rebuild, trying to rid yourself of these tainted pieces and create a better life for yourself, to understand who you are and what it is you truly desire out of this life. You know, some of us have created so many bad habits and broke ourselves down to so many different levels that we have, I hate to say, multiple personalities anymore, where we want to indulge and do this, but we know that everyone looks bad at us, so we're going to make sure that when we're outside of that atmosphere, we're somebody completely different. And this takes away from that head game. You can't put your mind together in a good spot. You can't make the best of yourself when you continually change points of view and change aspects to fit in with what they consider society, with what they consider good. Because we all know where the good of society has gotten all of us. But I digress. You know, that's bringing us back to that cognitive level. What's a good way to put that one? How about neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. That's one way to put it. Most people, you know, don't really want freedom, as it would be put. But the reason they don't is because that freedom comes with responsibility. Responsibility that most people are frightened of. And, you know, if you don't believe me on that aspect, let's take it to this point. Look at parents, men and women both, who've created these responsibilities for themselves, yet take no presence. And yeah, you know, it's your understanding. To find your head game strong is your analysis. You know, it doesn't set out to make pathological reactions impossible, but to give your character some freedom to decide one way or the other if you should be the best construct of architect. And, you know, to build yourself, to rid of the tainted, to find the worthiness, what's good, what's bad. And it takes that level of depth to dive into yourself, to answer your own truths, to stand out and be like, you know, I was wrong when I did this, be it back in the day or whatever it is, or to now. I made some mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, but I'm human. I know this. How do I achieve what I truly desire? You got to get right with your own mind. But anymore, you know, it seems it's an illusion. Condemning ourselves to us because it saves us pain. It's easier sometimes to dream away on the drugs to get rid of the negative, or to find some other source to mask the pain. But all the while, what truly happens is we build a sanctuary from a dungeon. And, you know, no matter what turn you take or what avenue you try to avoid, every time you come back to your sanctuary, it's nothing but your own prison that you've created, because your mind haunts yourself. Don't get me twisted. There are some things in life that have been bestowed upon people that were never deserved. But to understand that it wasn't ever your pain to begin with doesn't necessarily change the fact, but maybe it helps add a little closure to a situation. You know, but I'm one of those people, you know, to each their own. In the words of the good Freud, the mind, it's like an iceberg. It floats a seventh of its bulk above water because true depth is unknown to most. I love you guys. Y'all stay up and stay beautiful. And as always, when you work on yourself, remember it's yourself. Never apologize to anybody for it for any reason. You are your own constructive architect. You build your reality. You make yourself great, regardless to size, shape, status, education, or any of the above that anyone else could label you as. It is merely their opinion of you. And opinions don't pay no bills. Opinions don't change anything. Opinions are merely that, excuses of others. Stay up and stay beautiful.